All right, y'all. Welcome to an episode of That's How You're Feeling. I'm your host, Miss Shany G, aka Shanice, and I'm super excited because today we're going to be talking about dating. Is it dead? Is it still happening? How are folks dealing with it? For those of us that are taken, are we still dating in our relationships? I want to know. So we have some amazing folks here to chat today. We have Kira in the house. Super excited to see you. Yes. We have Jasmine. Hello, hello. We have Sydney. Yes, I see you there looking cute. And we have Florcy, of course, in the house. Hello, hello, beautiful people, my lovelies. So I want to get right into it. So my first question for you is dating dead? And this is posed to everybody because I think it's important to think about dating while still married, and I'm gonna explain what that is. But I want to know, is dating dead? Yes, no, what do y'all think?
When
I
I
don't think it
hear,
is.
I'm sorry, girl.
No, go, go, go. I was just
I'm
saying,
gonna
I don't think
say
it's dead.
I don't think it's dead. I just think it's taking on a new form.
Hmm.
Um, right now, especially if you talk about, it depends. I'm not. I was. I wasn't out queer before I got married.
Mm.
So, or before I started dating my husband, I did have queer dates, but I think that's different in that way
Mm-hmm.
too. I started dating before the Tinder and Bumble and the explosion of the swipe fest. So like when I hear my single friends talk about like how they meet guys or girls or how they meet up with people and how those things are so different from when I was dating, it's insane to me because I think the only like online dating we did when I was dating was like tagged
Mm.
and you go on tag to meet you.
Throwback.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Throwback. You go on tag to meet you look hot and ready for the night. You don't go on tag to meet you like a real, you know, somebody you really trying to fuck with. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like to me to hear it is like wow, like it's trash out there. And then in a relationship, it's hard, especially I have a 16 going on 17-year-old son,
Mm-hmm.
and with all of his activities and work and the pressures of life, so being a mom and being a wife, sometimes we'll be like, okay, let's get ready for this date. I don't want to go.
Mm.
I'm tired. I
Yep.
want to go to sleep. Let's go to a day party right quick. As long as we home before 11.
Mm.
Mm.
Cause the night scene, I don't want to be out there with them young people.
Listen.
It's like, yes, I'm 36, but I don't want to be around a bunch of 25-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
They rah, rah, rah. I need the quiet. I need the peace. I need to sit there with my cocktail and look cute. I don't, unless I'm on vacation somewhere, the young folks, they get a little too rowdy, and then you got to worry about fights and craziness, and we to an age when you in your 30s where you just want to enjoy. So it's like if we go on a date night, I gotta make sure I don't do nothing else during the rest of the day.
Listen, listen. Those naps throughout the day, okay? Getting ready for date night 100%. And I'm glad that you brought it up. Like in relationships, you're still supposed to date your partner. My wife says that all the time. She's like, you are supposed to date your partner. She was so worried when I first came down here. Like, I didn't have anybody, I didn't really know anybody in the Midwest. And so we're based in Illinois. And so she wanted to make sure that we were going out on weekends, that she was taking me out, that we were still dating. She was bringing me flowers. Like that was such a big thing. So I love that you brought it up. And also, yes, throw back to the old school dating app, like quote unquote apps, like for the gays, Downlink. I remember when Downlink was like the place to be on to find somebody, but even still, like I don't know if dating online was the thing that it is today. Like it definitely wasn't that kind of thing today. Anybody else? Like what are your takes, Jasmine? I know you had started to say something.
No, I definitely agree with Kira. I'm saying that right, Kira?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. So I definitely agree with you. I have a 2-year-old, or she's going on 2. So like finding that time with my partner, especially the one-on-one time and the time to make sure my daughter is situated so we can go and like not have to worry about her. It's few and far between, but when it happens, I don't want my night messed up by the people I'm going out around. So
Mm-hmm.
like if we could keep it quiet and low key and I know exactly we're going to be home before 11 like you said, and we can, yeah,
Are
at
you guys
least.
all earth signs? What's everybody's sign? This going to be home by 11. What's everybody's sign?
Right. Thank you. I'm an Aries. 11, I'm finally ready to go.
I'm about to leave at 11.
Okay, to be
Air
fair,
sign, Aquarius.
if I get my nap in the day, like it's actually really dependent. If I get my nap during the day, okay, I'm good to stay out late. If it's carnival season, baby, don't even give me a time because I
We
am
saw
out.
that. We
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
We
yeah.
see that.
Yeah. Outside. She's with the trees.
Yeah, definitely
Outside.
don't
It
pass
ain't even
11.
a time.
I feel
But
that. I feel that.
yeah, no, my partner's an Aries, and she got me into napping. I never
Yeah, naps
napped
are
before
essential.
her.
Naps are essential. But also to
Mm-mm.
answer the question, I don't think that dating is dead. Also because I'm still alive. I'm genuinely a
Hello.
dater. I love to date. Like I love taking my bitch out on a date. Like also, but single. But when I was in a relationship, I loved planning out dates. Like that's my favorite thing to do. To like have a notepad, like the notes section on my phone, and kind of like peep game about like what my partner likes and like what she wants to explore more of. And if
Mm-hmm.
I come across something on Instagram or like a restaurant or like an outing, like a haunted house or something, like I'll take note of that and be like, okay, like we're gonna do this, this, and this. And I'll always have a bouquet of flowers, like with a certain theme.
Y'all
And so
need to
that's
y'all
the
need to see them. The flowers that Florcy be doing.
that's the energy I come with, and that's the energy that also I require. But I don't really say it because it's already like once I feel like once you do something for somebody, they're like, okay, this is the standard that she kind of has things at. But I will say I've never been on dating sites. I don't know. I've never, and it's kind of difficult. I guess
Really?
people think it's
Mm-hmm.
difficult as like femme presenting queer people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, okay, I don't know. I don't want to find my partner on Instagram or Threads or like
That's valid.
Bumble. And I know it's a thing. It's a beautiful connection, but it's something about it that I rather meet my bitch at a coffee shop
Mm.
or like a movie
You
type
That's
a
a
of
hopeless
mutual
situation where
request.
romantic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
I
at
like
Aquarius. That's
it.
at Aquarius.
Okay, meet cute.
but I also feel like when I start meeting like I just started dating like fully full like date being in the dating scene in terms of women, but I feel like a lot of the times it's more so like, oh, this person knows this person, like type
Mm,
of vibe. But I see
Mm.
that the girls are meeting their partners on Threads. I'm like, what's that?
interesting.
On
Yeah,
thread.
Threads on Instagram. You know how Twitter X whatever Twitter, and then there's Instagram
No,
Threads.
no, no. I just, so for me, I think one, like we were saying, I think it's so important to date your partner, whether you're married, whether whatever the situation is. Like my partner and I, we still date. Date night is like a thing. We are very strict about our Tuesday evenings. Don't even, don't call, you better be dying if you're interrupting our date night. No, like truly, they know we don't play. But also, I did the online dating. I met like a really good person off of, it wasn't Tinder. What's the one? It's like Honey Bumble.
Mm,
But off of like social media, and I think it kind of goes to like what you were saying about being like femme presenting or it's been very hard for me. There's definitely been some people that I've had like online crushes on and like have gotten into good banter, and then it's just like, oh, now one of us needs to book a flight. One of us needs to book a ticket. Um, okay, it's not a problem, but it just never ends up like materializing to something. And
mm.
so that piece of it, I don't know. Like when you see like the U-Haul lesbians, I'm like, where's mine though? Where's the knapsack and the twig out in
I
the
can't
street?
relate to that. I can't
So
relate to that.
what?
First of all, I want
Please show up.
no, I need to know all your mental health conditions before I move in with you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not a U-Haul person. I'm not. I want to at least know how you do you snore, bitch? Like, I need to know all these specific
Yes.
things before I even. I feel like I'm really slow when it comes to that. Like, I'm not moving in with you either. I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I'm dying out right now because y'all are describing me. Wow. Okay, let me just exit the screen. So met my partner online. Moved in together after 3 months. I do snore. And keep reading me for Phil. Keep reading me for Phil
I
because
love
like
it though. I love
we
it.
U-hauled. To be fair though, I had never done that before. Like I had never U-hauled with anybody. Actually, no, that's a lie. When I was 17, my mom kicked me out and I moved in with my boyfriend at the time. But like, I feel
that's
like that's
different.
different.
That's
I feel like that's
circumstances.
survival. Okay,
Courtship.
survival. But like actually U-hauling because I wanted to. This was like the first time. But we're here 5 years later, a year married, and it worked out. Do not recommend it for
Mhm.
everybody though. I will say that because there are some like crazies out there. Like, so I will say as
Absolutely.
someone who has dated online. I am a serial online dater. And because the dating scene in Toronto is dusty, dusty, dusty. Okay. I'm from Toronto. It is not it. There's like, first of all, I was a fat girl. I'm still big, but I was a big girl. Like, and the folks in Toronto were so fat phobic. Also, that like trying to date while being fat is
Woo.
a whole other realm. I will never forget. I matched with somebody off of Timey, the app Timey, and I had actually no met Bay on Timey. This was off of I think not Bumble, Hinge. Met somebody off of
Mm.
Hinge. So we're talking, we're messaging each other, and she goes to me, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get on FaceTime and stand up and turn around for me so I can see if you're bigger than what you are in your photos." And I was like, "Excuse me?" Like, excuse, baby, I'm fatter in real life. So the
Right.
program,
I
are you
am. And so
Right?
knowing
now
Like at
what?
that rate, times 10.
that part? Like, and so it was just like, or if I was with someone smaller than me, like my ex was much smaller than me, and people were like, "Oh my gosh," like, and my ex was dark skinned. So this was the other thing. It was like, "Oh, this dark skinned person is being loved. Oh, this fat person is being loved." So people were like being really gross about our relationship, like as if we were two people
Real
that couldn't
fetishy almost.
possibly, yeah, as two people who couldn't possibly ever be loved. So, like, have y'all found like dating? Do you think like your who you are as a person also has affected like your dating? So, being fat, black, queer, femme, indigenous, like, how do you think that has impacted your dating as well? Because I know for me, like, dealing with the anti-blackness, dealing with the fat phobia, dealing with the anti-indigeneity, the internalized queer phobia, like it was too much. It was too much. So how do you feel like dating was for y'all?
I could see
Seeing,
that.
so for myself, oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So for myself, I live in Boston, and for those that I don't know, maybe don't know, but I feel like a lot of folks of color know. Like Boston has some serious racial things going on, even though we're very like liberal and love everyone and da 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 da. The thing about it with Massachusetts, and I explain this to folks all the time, is that here the white people know that they're poor, and so they vote like they know that they're poor. Whereas in like Nebraska, those white folks don't know that they're poor, and so they vote like they're gonna be the next millionaire. And so that's the only reason why Massachusetts is as liberal as it is. And a large portion of the queer community, or at least the out queer community here, is white. And not just white, but they're like the Justin Bieber
Mm.
white women, like that. I don't know how else to explain
Mm.
it. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
the appearance that they give. And so dating here and like I'll say it, most of my relationships have been with men just because it's like, where are the queer women of color? Where are the
Mm.
queer femmes of color? Where are the queer studs of color? And then when you do find one, it's like, and I'm not even gonna say that I like benefit or don't benefit from colorism because I'm right there in the middle. So it like really depends on who's looking at me. But a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the times it's like studs who are like, no, I'm looking for like a Janae Aiko type, or I'm
Mm.
looking for a Hispanic woman or this, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well then thanks. Now I'm here with sweaty armpits. and that's really not who I want to be with because
Shaving, the
they
no
have
shaving, long hair, armpits. Oh, sorry, I just can't do it.
no, exactly that. And it's like, they only really want to date me because they're mad at their mom or because they have daddy issues or
Mm.
because they want to fetishize dating a brown like I'm all set. And so I tend to date men because it's just any of us who have ever dated a man, it's a lot easier.
Mm.
It's very easy. I just kind of have to show up,
Yeah.
and I'm doing a good job just for that.
Kira, you were about to say something?
I was gonna say because I didn't tell Florcy, I'm an Aquarius. The only reason I'm just a very calm because I like what Shanice was saying when I'm out like for vacation, it's turn up season. When I'm in Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, it's turn up season. But in my city, I live in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, I was just about to. Okay, yeah.
I'm from Chicago, but I live here. It's very cheap. Very nice place to raise your family, but it's very chill, quiet. And the youngins get out of pocket a lot. So because it's a big college town area. But like when I was dating, I've always been a big girl, so I did the dude, like I think one of my most notable like hookups was this guy on campus, and he was like a rapper, and he was in my DMs all the time, but I noticed he only dated skinny girls.
Yeah.
But he's at my crib, at my little dorm or whatever, my dorm apartment, because I was a mom like in college.
Yeah.
So I've been a mama since forever. Like I've been a mom since 19. So like he could come over there, kick it, but never seen him on campus, no dates. So unfortunately, I was one of those big girls who did kind of like fall into the situationships with guys where they didn't want to be seen in public. They didn't want to like take me out on dates and stuff. So when I met my husband and he took me out and he was like okay with me taking pictures and posting it online, my friends was like, okay, like we might be able to rock with this guy. This guy might be the material for you. Because being real with y'all, there are no pictures of me. Like, so I could play it off, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the only one. Because there's no pictures of me with any other man on social media because they wouldn't let me post them.
And see, that is something that I think happens a lot. Like, one of my exes, she's one who's big on her image and only really dated thin white women. And when we got together, and I didn't know this because we had met online, so I hadn't seen her social media. We get together, and I'm thinking she's like really big in what she's doing, and like this is a good person. And this was a while ago, so who she is now is who she is now. But I will never forget us having a conversation about me being posted on her social media, and she said that I didn't match her image. And mind you, bigger than me. She's bigger than me.
I would literally punch a bitch. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
Thank you. Mind you, you've always been fine. So what?
Period.
Always.
But it's just like, and there was like a lot of excuses of like, oh, I don't post partners on my public page, and like you don't necessarily match my image, and it's like, oh, but like your white ex is on your page, like I see that, and so it was just really interesting at the time to be like, okay, what is it about me that doesn't match an image? Is it because I'm loud? Is it because I'm black as fuck about how I feel about my fucking identity? Is it because of the fact that, I'm someone who speaks my mind and I don't mince my words? Like, what is it? Or is it because I'm bigger than any of the girls you've ever dated before? Like, what really is the reason? And that comes into play a lot. It really does. And I think like this is where I think I wanted to ask around like social media. Do you feel like social media affects dating? So like whether or not someone's posting you, because that is a big thing in a lot of my friends' relationships, their partner not wanting to post them. And I remember when I got with Bae, like she doesn't use social media at all. Okay, she's a Snapchat girly, really, but she don't use Instagram. And I remember being like, "You better post me." Like,
Me?
yeah, like you better post me. I'm
People
not
better know I
doing
exist.
this.
But why wouldn't you want to? That's my question. Why wouldn't you want to?
Right.
You know? And so I mean, most of her photos were from like 2018.
There is
So
some
she
people who are
did,
really not social media
yeah,
people.
and she's
I'm
really
getting
not.
them. Yeah,
But she posted me because it mattered to me.
exactly.
It mattered. It
Yes.
was like, you not finna hide me, you know, and
Yeah.
not that she was, because
Right.
she was introducing me as her wife from day one. Okay, we weren't even married yet, and she everywhere we're going, I'm being introduced as the wife. So I wasn't being hidden, but for me, that social media thing was a big thing. So like, how do y'all feel about how social media plays a role in dating, whether like you are married or taken or like single?
I never wanted to be one of them wives who was always posting my husband, and like you go to his page and it's like he's single. Cause you see that all the time. It's so weird. My husband though, you know, I think Shanice has seen his page. I'm all over it. Like I'm his screensaver on his phone. For a while he had a picture of me in an implied nude that I took as his backdrop. And he was like, I gotta take that picture off. They saw it at work. So I was like, it's okay. You can pick one of my other pictures. But this is probably one of the most out loud, you know, relationships I've had because, well, again, I got with my husband like 2014. So we was really at the precipice of like social media.
Yeah.
It's interesting though to see my teenage son date and see how they're doing things, the younger Gen X, because he doesn't get phone numbers. He gets IGs.
That's me. That's me.
Like I'll see him out and he'll be like, he got y'all, I will say my baby got a little game because I went in, I saw the pretty little hijabi girl, and I was like, oh, you're so pretty. Like I was getting some skincare stuff, and she's like, your skin looks great. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm 30 something. I said, your skin looks great. She said, oh, I'm 17. I said, well, baby, you better have good skin at 17. You better. I was like, but my baby your age. I was like, my son is your age. Y'all, he went in the store and he was like, oh, my mom said you were beautiful, and she wasn't lying.
Okay. Excuse me.
Okay. I know that's right.
Okay. So he's supposed to go on a little date with the little hijabi girl this weekend. She's a sweetheart.
I love it.
But I love the way that they are very much, they're different than what we was. Little boys aren't as afraid to be, you know, seen as more soft. You know, and I think that's because of the music they listen to, the Rod Waves and all of that. But the young generation is actually, you know, I really implemented him. You know, first of all, he only dates black girls. That ain't because I told him to, it's because that's what he liked. But I'm appreciative that that's all he like is black girls. Because I said if I'm gonna put all this time and effort into raising a black boy, it's for a black girl.
That part.
And so he goes on these dates, and I teach him how I would have wanted to be treated, how I would have wanted to be taken care of. And he told me, he said, "Ma, I date chubby girls." he said I don't discriminate. He said if they beautiful, they beautiful. And I was like, yeah,
that part.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see from his point of view, and especially this, like next year is his last year of high school and going into college, to kind of figure out, you know, how they're doing things and how they have these discussions, because you know they have more open discussions about consent and, you know, how to treat each other and about feelings and things like that. So that's an interesting topic for them. Me personally, just going on these, you know, on these adventures with my husband. Our anniversary is next week. We've been married 5 years. So, you know, that's a big date.
Yeah.
That's the big date. That's like the outfits gotta coordinate. You know, we gonna do a photo shoot.
11.
Yeah, that might go past 11. Well, see, that's another thing. That, you know, because baby girl, Florcy, when you say that, I gotta get back in time so we could do it.
So I'm not too tired. That's all I
That's
just
what I'm
want.
saying. Like if I be out all night at the club shaking ass, and then I get home, I'm going to sleep.
I tell Bay every single time. The second I get chicken nuggets in me, it's a wrap. We not having those.
That's
The
right.
second I eat after
I
being
got. I
out,
don't want to be
Done.
gassy. I want to be able to put the
yeah.
legs behind my back. You know what I'm saying? I got to do the little. That's so it's like, okay, we eat dinner. I'm gonna eat something a little light. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Then I'm gonna do these acrobatics. I'm gonna shake it up
Yeah.
a bit. But
Yeah.
it's like I can't do that if I get home at 1. And
When
1,
the
I'm going
baby
to
is
sleep.
waking up the next day.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have that morning time. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It ain't gonna be the nighttime no more. But I got a son, so it's like he up in the morning. He don't
Yeah.
want to hear bedroom jams
That's
at 11 a.m.
Ain't
you
that the
know,
truth?
like I think I made a status about it. And these probably was cracking up that I had accidentally put my sex playlist on his
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation. And he was like, "What is wrong with y'all? What is this song?"
that
He was
baby.
like,
Guard
"What
that
is
baby
my
for
kitty
life.
go woo woo? What is this? What are these graphics?" I was like, Lord, Lord. I was like, it's just a song. He was like, but what kind of freaked out stuff you y'all do?
Listen, some grown stuff.
I was like,
Some
hey,
grown stuff.
we trying out. Let's do this. After the first year or two is not going right, it's like, okay, we got to find a way to continue to make this special still.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you
Actually,
just like you a breeder, you don't want to just be
Yeah.
like, okay, it's the time, let's do it. So
Mm-hmm.
my bad, Sydney, go ahead.
actually, no, it's okay. You brought up something interesting with the fertility point, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but
Oh,
I
you
kind of
fine.
want to hear from you, Jasmine, because you were saying that you have a 2-year-old, and so you're
Yeah.
still technically in that like postpartum window, but there's also the like busyness of having a toddler and all of that. So how, not to get in your business, obviously, share whatever feels comfortable for you. But how has dating and taking kind of like that dedicated time and tenderness and like all of that, how has that impacted or has it been impacted for you with motherhood and all of that?
It's definitely been impacted. So my partner and I have been together since we were in high school. So in 2015, we
Oh, the
got
super
together.
surprise.
Thank you. And so um, I found that like all the changes you would go through from being a teenager to in your 20s, we're going through those changes together. And then with having our daughter, I went through really, really bad postpartum. And it took about, I'd say 6 months before he fully, I wouldn't even say fully, before he could understand past why is she so angry. So that was definitely a contribution to why we weren't going on dates and stuff like that because I just wasn't in the mood. Like I didn't even know who I was. And so in this year now, we've really started to get to know each other on a different level. And so dates might just be like in between going to pick her up that we stop and we get some ice cream together, we go to the parks on walks, and like we kind of just try and sneak it in there. And then when we have a babysitter and I'm still postpartum in the fact that like there's very few people I leave my daughter with. And so I'm warming up to new people, and that's really hard for us right now. But when we do have a sitter at night, it's like taking advantage of that time together and really trying, not wasting it on like the little things and like actually enjoying each other's company.
I do think it's so important to talk about that. It's super funny. I was doing an interview for an article and they were asking me about like beauty. And I was thinking about like as a kid watching my mom get ready to go out for dates and like
Mhm.
how important that was for me. Now, the funny thing is, I was talking to my mother about it and she was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what dates? And I was like, Mom, you used to get ready every Friday to go on dates. And she was like, we were going to the gym. Like, we were not, that wasn't date night. But I had like convinced myself, but it was something that like reminded me as I got older to make sure that I always went on dates. So even though it wasn't what I thought it was, it's still like an important thing for me. But I do want to get on the topic of healing. And Florcy, I actually wanted to ask you this because you're someone that like I always come to you to talk to you about healing. Like, you definitely are my spiritual boo. But like, how important do you feel like healing is when it comes to dating? Because I know like you've been on your own healing journey. We've talked about this a lot. And like other folks feel free to answer this, but just like what do you think the role healing plays in dating?
So that is so crazy because now when I am open to dating, because I'm not really open to dating right now, and I try to tell people that, I'm kind of like recently kind of broken up, like as of like January-ish. But like for me, that's recent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to be honest, I think that moving forward in whatever connections like I may come across, like that is definitely going to be a question that I ask my potential partner. Like it's such an important question that I feel like kind of gets overlooked. Like where are you in your healing journey, and like what does that look like on a day to day? Like what type of support would you need from your partner? Like all of those questions are like, and also including like somebody's past relationships. Like I think that's so important. Like are you coming from an
Mm-hmm.
abusive relationship? Like what was the trajectory prior to me? Like what did dating look like before me? Like and what were the ups and the downs? Like what lives inside your body still? And I realized that like that's something that I wish I would have put in the forefront in my last relationship, because I feel like a lot would have been different. And because it's like at the end of the day, like people are coming fucked up. People are coming fucked up. They're healing. They're trying to like, just like regulate their nervous systems. And to be honest, like I think that I'm finally at a point in my journey where I was so about the gym. I was so about like the physique, the physical about it, about healing, like, but recognizing like you can go to the gym, and yes, it did help me like release certain like energies off my body, but like what's the point of working out or like moving your body when like your inside your nervous system is still not repaired? And
Mm-hmm.
so now I'm like getting to the point where like I'm really working with plant medicines to like kind of rewire my nervous system so that when love does come again in whatever form it may come in, um I'm ready to receive that, and I'm not scared of it. I'm not shying away from, because right now I'm very much like I don't want to date anybody. Like I don't even want people looking my way. I don't want to date. um but yeah, I think it's really important, and I needed my next bitch or my old bitch to come become a new bitch, to really come with a routine. What is your healing routine? What does your day look like? Like what is, and where do you pour into yourself throughout the day? And what does that look like? How can I support you in that? How can I help uphold your boundaries when you're breaking them too?
Mm-mm.
Right? Like if
Mm.
you're telling me that you're healing journey, you don't want to keep drinking like that no more, how am I also supporting that in terms of like converting date nights, right? Like where alcohol doesn't have to be involved. If we go out to eat in a restaurant, we can explore different types of mocktails, like where like things are just more like in alignment with people's healing journeys. Like I don't want to call in no more recovering from exes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call
Amen.
that
Ooh.
avoidant abandonment. Like it's okay for you to come with some of that, but
Mm-hmm.
be active in your healing and working towards that type of healing. Because if you're
Yeah.
not, I'm not doing it. And I want to know if you've been in therapy.
That's the thing. It's so
Absolutely.
important. Like as someone, I have borderline personality disorder, and like was recently diagnosed with that. As in like literally this year. I got
I
diagnosed with
remember.
it. So I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety from an early, like 21 years old. But this year at like before I turned 33 is when I was finally diagnosed with BPD. And even before that, like before I met my partner, it was so important for me to like be in a different place for my next relationship, because my last relationship, my last few relationships, like I realized I had a pattern of like dating avoidant people. I had a pattern of dating people who made me feel like I didn't know if they really loved me. And this like stemmed from my own trauma. I was like replicating trauma from my relationships with my family into my dating life. And also I realized I was also doing it with friends too.
Mm.
But like I was like really replicating this pattern. And so when I met my wife, I was like, I need to be upfront about my mental illness. I need to be upfront about where I am, and I need to be very clear about what my triggers are, because I was not interested in being in another relationship with someone who continued to trigger traumas that I was already working on healing from. And I think like that
Hmm.
was a big one for me, that like I was just like, I'm not. I'm not interested in that. And I think a lot of people, the other thing that I think is really scary though, is a lot of people are like weaponizing therapist speak. So they're watching a
Yes.
video on YouTube, they're hearing some like interesting language, and then they're weaponizing it. And so I think that's also like a very scary thing right now of like being like, okay, even in friendships, are you weaponizing therapy talk in this conversation right now? Like what is really this conversation? But I want to like redirect the conversation a little bit, and I want to talk about the burden of labor. And I'm like talking about emotional, financial, physical, all the types of labor. How do you folks feel like that works in your relationships? Because I'm in a queer relationship. I'm married to a woman, but I'm also married to a woman who prescribes to some forms of heteronormativity and the fact that like she's the stud. She wants to take on those more mask roles. This is not something that I've put on her, nor is it like in a toxic masculine way. So I want to be very clear about that. My baby's not into toxic masculinity. It's just like she prefers those more masculine roles. And so like heteronormativity is kind of put on us in that way, except for I build all the furniture in our house. So yeah, shout out to me. Okay, Bobisha the builder. So yeah, but outside of that, she's very like I take on those mask roles. But our labor, I would say, is divvied up equally. I don't think like, and even for paying for things, like she's going to want to pay for things most of the time, but it'll even be like we're going to the movies. Okay, you get the tickets, I'll get the snacks, or you get the snacks, I get the tickets. Like we find ways to like balance things out. But I wanted to ask like other folks and also Florcy as like a femme, like where how do you find like labor plays out in your relationship? So whoever wants to answer first can answer first. But yeah, I just want to like how does that work for y'all? Ooh, people thinking.
Well, I'm not going to answer this one because my partner and I don't live together, so labor doesn't
But
really
labor
fall
can
into it.
come up
So like
in other ways.
we we deal with like okay, so there are certain things. So my partner is a cisgender male, and so there's certain things like when he comes to my apartment, he's also 6'3". When he comes over, I tell him I'm like, oh babe, I got tall men jobs for you. I need you to lift this. I need you to pick this up. I need you to do this. He when he leaves my place, he takes out the trash. Like there's definitely like those kind of like typical masculine things that he does. But then there are the times where it's like we're all put together, I'll plan and put together and pay for the date instead of like having him do it or whatever. So like there's that kind of stuff, but I feel like the folks that live with their partners have kids, y'all kind of deal with more intense labor. So how do y'all split that up without, especially like again, you Jasmine having a younger one, how do you deal with these things without looking and being like, I think that I hate you because I'm changing the third diaper for today, or for you having a 16
Sometimes
year
there
old,
is
how
that.
does that like how does that play for you guys as parents?
Honestly, with my postpartum, I changed up my therapist because I found the therapist that I had been seeing before I got pregnant um, was more so looking at me as the woman I was before I was pregnant. So I didn't find that it was helpful. So I ended up finding a totally different therapist to take me through my postpartum journey. And I was finding I was hearing things that weren't being said. So, like, when I get upset, I just say it now. So, like, if I feel like I'm on the third diaper, or I feel like I've woken up the third night in a row and he hasn't woken up at all, I'll say it. I'll just be honest. Like, honestly, I'm mad. I'm up with the baby again. Like, this isn't fair. And then that's his, like, oh, shoot, you're right. This isn't fair. And like, he's very much, he picks up his end of his role, I would say. Um, I'm very much just a girl, and I will tell that to him when I'm overwhelmed, when I feel like you need to step up and step in. I am just a girl. So, this situation, you got to figure it out because I don't know,
Mm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
think just being honest about it, when our batteries are low, when he doesn't have it and he can't come 100%, but I can, and stepping in, if it's whether I need to do bedtime and dinner today, whereas yesterday he was doing all dinner routine, then so be it. It's kind of knowing when each other needs the other.
I love that. I love that so much. And also, like, listen, it gets hard when you're both just girls, okay? When you're both just looking at each other and you're like, I'm just a girl, you're just a girl, so who's doing it? Kira, like, also interested to hear from you as well, especially you having an older child and also your
Yes.
husband being a step parent, because that's a whole other role as well
Mhm.
that adds to that dynamic.
Mhm.
It was really tough at first because being a single mom for like 5 years before I met him, because I'm 36, I had my son at 19, so I was like a baby. I like to say we grew up together, me and my son,
Mhm.
and that's why we like thick as thieves. That's my homie. That's my twin. I don't could tell him he my homie because to him he not one of my little friends
Yeah.
That's right.
because
Yeah.
I didn't got into it with people online about that because they
Hmm.
was like, you don't want to be friends. I was like, listen, when you get to have a teenager, you got to be mama. You got to
Yeah.
put your foot down because these young rowdy ones will get rowdy with you, and you got to let them know, yo, 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 I'm mom right now. I don't want to hear about what you feeling like doing with Shorty over here or whatever. I don't want to hear that. Keep it to yourself.
Hmm.
But we have a really good relationship and we really close. So he tells me everything, even stuff I don't want to hear. So it's like our division a lot of times is that I had to start doing things like letting him do it, like letting him take care of him, letting him have those conversations. Cause even though I'm his mom and I'm his ride or die, I don't understand what it's like to be a man. I don't
Hmm.
understand what it's like growing up as a male, black male. I can only say from the outside looking in and what I know. So they have their time. They go they go out to dinner. They go have lunch, talk, walk around. So he's done a lot of taking that labor off of me. Because I was so used to being by myself and paying for everything. And, he's like, well, what do you have to pay for? Tell me, I'll take over that. I'll do this. Like, cause I also have the trauma of my mom being a single mom
Mm.
and seeing her go from having this husband, my dad, who was paying for everything and he was, balling out. My dad was making a lot of money, and then the crack epidemic
Hmm.
and her losing out on the lifestyle that she had came up with. When I hear girls online talking about, oh, my husband pays for everything, he does this, he does that, I don't want that. I don't want my husband to pay for everything. For one, I don't want him to be tired and so stressed out from dealing with corporate America all day long, and I'm just at home, chilling, and he's just completely out of it, and he done gave his life into an early grave like our grandfathers did to give to corporate America, to white America. I can
Hmm.
give a little bit so that we both have that, give and take. Like he does the laundry. I've never been great at laundry. I just fold it.
Hmm.
So he does the laundry. He actually does a lot of the cleaning around the house because I'm not the most clean person with cleaning. So he does a lot of that. I do the cooking just because I've been cooking since I was in like second grade and I
Hmm.
cook better than him. That's really what it is. And if he cooks, it's not healthy. And
Mm.
we all trying to lose weight. And I'm not trying to eat fried chicken and greens every day.
Hmm.
Like I just can't. I can't eat
Yeah.
it with, it's a lifestyle thing. So with us, it's more so he pays more of the bills because he makes more. And if I start making more, it'll probably be more equal.
Hmm.
But I like to know what bills is coming out of where, who are we got this with? Because I've
Absolutely.
witnessed aunties, grandmothers, people, they man die and now they lose the house because they don't know who the mortgage is with.
Yes.
Listen, my auntie, her husband passed away, and they was sitting there and the lights went out, and they was like, someone forgot to pay the light bill. But no, 100%. Like, I will say this, I have witnessed both the having your partner pay for everything, the 50-50, or even like my mom is like the I be trying to tell my mom all the time, okay? She's in the dating world and she's like, I want like a blue collar man, and like I just want like the type of man that she wants, which is her daddy, it doesn't exist in the same way anymore, if that makes sense. I think like that's the other part of dating. A lot of us are chasing the
Yes.
images of people or a lifestyle that just doesn't exist anymore, right? So it's like yeah, my mom wants a man like her daddy, but her daddy don't exist in this type of climate right now. It's just he just doesn't.
Right.
So it's like those type of things are things that I think people need to be cognizant of. Like, are you chasing something that's a reality, or are you chasing something that just doesn't exist anymore? Um, my auntie, who she married her husband, her first husband, she paid for everything. Okay, she paid for
Mm.
everything. She married her black man, had her black children, and then she went got her Hardwick soft life with a white man, okay? And he
Yeah.
paid for it. When I tell you, my auntie the other day was talking about all the trips that she had been on, okay? He took care of everything. She went and got her soft life. And it was very, very nice. Now, she still works because she wants to. She wants to stay busy, but he paid for everything. But her first thing that she told me was make sure you know how things are being paid, where they're being paid to, because you don't want to be left in the dark, and make sure you have your own money just in case. In the Caribbean, we talk about, we call walking with your vex money. You should always have your vex money because you never know how, especially a man, is going to be. And this is something also these young girls need to know, because I
Oh,
don't know how many
absolutely.
posts I've
Yes.
seen of these young girls taking trips to places with men with no
Woo!
money, okay? And getting stuck somewhere, or going out to dinner with a man and then he gets disrespectful and now you ain't got money for the bill. Now, do I expect the man to pay? Yes, I
Oh,
do.
absolutely.
Okay. But what I will
Mm-hmm.
say is you should always carry vex money, a little side cash, whatever you call it in your culture. You should always, ladies, number one, please, 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 please walk with some vex money, because you never want to be caught out here with nothing, ever. But
Absolutely.
what I will say though is I think the possibility of someone taking care of everything without killing themselves is real, but it's not real
Oh
for
yeah.
everybody. It's not real for everybody. And I think that's the other thing that's like, where I hear you, Kira, because when you were like, I don't need him to pay for everything, I saw Flirty be like, shoo, I saw Flirty, like, I
Say
need
that
someone to pay
too.
for everything. But what I will say is like, I'm with both of you on that, where it's like my partner
Yeah.
wants to be the main bill payer. Like that's what she
Mhm.
wants. Absolutely, that's what she wants. But for me, it's like, are you healthy? Are you okay? Are you getting enough rest? Are you taking enough
Mhm.
time off of work? How's your mental health today? How's your body feeling? Do you need to go get a
Exactly.
massage? And
Cause
also
I'll
like,
tell you, at one time he worked two
mhm,
full-time jobs.
mm,
Before we got our house, he worked two full-time jobs. I'm talking about first shift and second shift and night shift
mm,
every day. And he gained a lot of weight. He started having some problems with his health. And I saw that and I'm like, you don't, I don't ever want you to have to do that again.
mhm.
Now he gets to the point
Yeah.
these investments pay off. We get a couple more
Okay. Come
properties
on.
and the properties start popping and I get my franchise like I want to. Hey, you go ahead, handle it.
Just don't
I
get the
just
hard
think in
way.
a
Just don't
oh
get the
yeah,
hard way.
I'm never gonna do that. Never gonna do that. I'm gonna have me somebody on standby like Nene. So I'm gonna be on my Nene. I'm gonna have somebody on standby. But it's it's just a simple fact that when I hear these conversations,
Mhm,
I get that a lot of those women don't actually care about the person they're going to be with. It's just a means to an end. And I get that.
Yes.
Hey, more power to you,
listen.
homegirl. But when you love somebody, it don't matter male, female, you know what I'm saying, trans, whomever that person identifies with, your person, you just want them to be happy and safe, and you want their heart to be in good condition, and you want their body to be in good condition because unfortunately we only get one body.
Mhm,
And no matter what you do to it, you put, you could make it bigger or smaller, you could put boobs on it and butts on it, whatever
mhm,
you want to do, you just got to make sure you can live together. Because at the end of the day, I want us to be sitting there with our grandkids and having a good time somewhere out in the country with the grandkids running around with their hair all wild and free with just a
mhm.
diaper on. And he can't do that if his
Absolutely.
heart messed up and he
Yeah,
leave me.
hundred
Like I
percent.
told him, I used to work at a nursing home. So I told him my favorite person. I always ask her because she had three husbands. I said, which one was your favorite? She said the last one till he up and died. She said
Mm.
we was having a great time. We was on boats. We was traveling the world, and he just up and left me.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
I
Walter
do.
was my favorite.
I do think it's one of those things, like you were saying, Shanice, with your aunt. Just thinking for myself, being raised with, I had a my mother was a married single mom. And so because I was raised in that, seeing things on TV like Everybody Hates Chris, Boy Meets World, like those kind of shows where you have a parent, you have a father figure who is taking care of everything in the house. Like the famous line from Everybody Hates Chris is Rochelle being like, "I don't need this. My man got two jobs." Like, you grow up with that mindset, and having uncles, who were in that position where they were the ones that were taking care of their home. It's almost a thing of like, where for my partner, again, he kind of feeds into the whole masculine thing, not in a toxic way, but just in the like, I'm the man, so I want to provide for you. And I think it's really that, like, no matter whether it's a hetero or a homo or whatever kind of relationship, it's more so that intent, because I
Mm-hmm.
know that for myself, for my partner, I want to provide for him, and so I know that he wants to provide for me.
Yeah.
And it should be that kind of thing. Like, if, like, to your point, like, if things get so frustrating for him at his workplace, I want him to be able to understand that, like, okay, you can quit that job and I'll float us for a couple months, because I know that if things get stressful for me and I need to quit my job, I need to take a leave of absence, you'll float things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it needs to be that
That
equal
balance, that
intention.
equal balance. Yeah.
Exactly.
100.
Whereas nowadays, I do think a lot of the young girls are kind of looking at it as like, nope, I want a man that's going to run everything, and I don't even need to think about who the mortgage is with or who the light company is or anything like that. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
Mama, that's how you end up homeless in the dark with no water,
But our
because you didn't
grannies
know who
and
was running
aunties
anything.
knew that. Our grannies and
They
aunties
Thank
did.
knew
you.
that.
Because
They
they
knew
took the
this.
money and paid it.
They that part, and they
Listen,
would stash money around the house. Our aunties, our grandmas, our cousins, like they knew that, right? And I think that is such an
yeah,
important thing. Is like, yes, let your partner take care of you, but having your own isn't about, be isn't about, okay, well, I'm gonna start taking care of my partner because they're just not gonna do anything. No, it's about making sure that you are taken care of. And like, Flircy, I want to get your opinion because you, baby,
yes.
are listen, my girl Flircy's a lover girl, okay? So when she in love,
That's why
and
I was
this
like,
is
I
what
can
I
never
love.
have a girlfriend because I'm a trick.
Yeah, Flircy's
I want to
a trick.
go. I
But
want to
It
take my
ain't
bitch
tricking
on
if
a
you
trip.
got it. It ain't tricking if you got it.
but
I want to take my bitch
Flircy
on a trip
is.
3 times a year. But so I don't know. I think that there's so many layers to this because it really
Mm-hmm.
depends on like the bodies that you're talking to, like socioeconomic status, all of that. I
Yes.
really do think that
Mm-hmm.
that takes into
Absolutely.
account. Like for example, like me and my ex, I always used to say like, yo, if I ever have enough money, like I would want to pay for things, like
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like, I would want to take care of you so that you
Absolutely.
don't. Because I see how hard you work. Like I would want to do that. Like just out of love, I
Mm-hmm.
would want to do that. But I think that personally where I'm at, I think that if your girl makes more money than you or your dude makes more money than you, I really think that like that's how I look at 50-50. I don't look at 50-50 like the bill comes up to 300, we each pay 150.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't that's
Yes.
not like I mean, and also I think it depends who asks who on the date first, right? If I'm
Yeah.
asking for the date, I'm paying the bill. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I also fucking hate 50-50. Like, just don't even put
I
the
hate the
conversation.
conversation. I hate it.
Yes. It's so
But
weird and it's so unsexy.
yeah,
Ugh.
I
yeah,
think the conversation is always like so literal. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, like it's not like ours is technically like that, but he pays a higher amount of everything just because he make
right.
more money.
Mm-hmm.
And that just makes more sense to
Exactly.
me. It's an equity. Because I'll be real, I was so afraid to say something when we first got together because we was splitting everything equal. And my homegirl was like, "You need to say something. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're fucking broke." And I was like, "Dude, I was like, damn, dude,
I get
I
it.
don't
I
know
get
what to do. Like, cause I'm like, this is my first full-time job out of college. Like, I don't know. And she was like, say something to that damn man. He ain't about to, he's not gonna be upset. And so I said something to him and he was okay. But I'll tell you, it was a time I had lost my job and we were supposed to move into a place, and he was like, just try to find you a job, but if it's too stressful, just relax. and he just floated us. Like Sydney said, he floated us for like 3 months, 3 or 4 months. And then when we got our new apartment, the job, they was like, well, she gonna be working, da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, I found a job. I'll start such and such amount of time. And the neighbors, this was back in like, y'all, 2016, 2017, I had to work from home. And the neighbors just thought I was a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, oh, we just thought you stayed at home. It was just fabulous. I was like, oh, no, I work. I work inside my house. And they were like, inside your house?
Yeah, before work from home was really a thing.
Everybody works from home now, but like back then in 2016, 2017, everybody was freaking out because they was like, how do you work from your house? How does that even work?
How does that happen? Well, we're about to come to an end, but I really want to ask, like, I want to ask each of you, like, what is one piece of advice that you would like to give people out there who are dating, right? It can be anything, but like, what's one piece of advice? I can go first. I think I already said it, the Vex money. Please, baby girls, walk with that. But I think like my advice is never compromise on the big things when you are dating. Do not compromise on the big things. You can compromise on little things like, I don't know what street you gonna live on, or you know what I mean, where you're going out for a date, what food item you're gonna eat this week, but do not compromise on the big things. That's how many children you want to have or not have. If you want to get married, finances, please, 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 please talk about finances when you are getting serious in your relationship. But even actually from the beginning, talk about finances, because you need to know where you're at, especially if like you guys are going out on dates, you're planning things. But yeah, never compromise on the big things, especially my femmes, my women, my girls. We are constantly told that we have to compromise. We are constantly told that our standards are too high. Please do not compromise on those big things. Listen, especially black girls. Do not compromise on a single thing that you want. If that person, man, woman, non-binary, trans, if they do not give you what you want, they are not the person for you. And I mean that wholeheartedly. So that's my advice. Who'd like to go next?
I think mine would be date yourself first. Like actually get to know what you like what, like how do you like to be pleased, like what are your non-negotiables, like what are your boundaries, what are your trigger points, like until you like fully like date yourself and understand yourself in all the possible ways, like emotionally, physically, and spiritually, like I don't think that anybody can meet you where you want to be met at.
Mine would be, to be honest, kind of going back to Florcy's point earlier with healing and things like that, is come to a space, and even with this point, with her point of dating yourself, be honest about what you have going on in your life. Not necessarily in like a scary way, but like be honest and upfront from the beginning of like, hey, I recently got out of a relationship, and so right now I'm just dating. I'm not looking for anything serious. And then if you find somebody where you're like, oh, I would like to be serious, then say that or whatever. But just be in a space where you're willing to be honest with yourself first, and then be honest with whoever it is that you're attempting to entertain, whatever entertaining looks like.
Yes, I love that.
I would say also with knowing yourself, what are you actually dating because you're bored and you want to go out on some dates on a Saturday night? Or are you dating because you're looking to grow old with somebody? Like, actually decide that before you go into the dating pool, because that will help you narrow down your selections, and that might actually help weed through some of the bad apples. But also, I want to thank you, Shanice, for talking about Vex money, because my dear aunt, who I adore, passed away a few years ago. And that was her advice to all of us girls, is as we came up in age to start going out, as we came up in age to start dating, to always have your Vex money. Back then, you could have $10 and that would at least get you to a subway station. And then from there, you could come home, or you can get a pay phone and call us type of situation. So that just like brought me back to that memory. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I'm gonna say my advice to people is just really about being like, it's in the vein of healing, but about being true to yourself. If you know that you just, you out here to have to catch a vibe, be real, be honest about that. But if you know you want more out of life and, things like that, maybe putting dating on a back burner to achieve your goals, definitely that. And don't let anybody who seems to be like, if there's something that lights you up and you're extremely excited about it and it's something that you want to pursue, if that person continues to dim your light, they ain't the person for you. You got to find somebody that wants to illuminate you, even when you don't necessarily want to do it. You may not want to get out there and do things, but they constantly like a bug in your ear, like, I think you're good at this. I think that this is good for you. I think you should go after this. That's the person that you want to be with and build with. And then also, at the first real red flag, cut it off. Cut it off. Don't let the flags start accumulating and then you got a pile of red flags, but your heart is
you don't need a collection.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't let them red flags look like rose-colored glasses. Take the glasses off. See that person for what they are and realize, they either have healing to do or this just ain't the person.
Listen, some people be wrapping themselves in that red color blanket to cry themselves to sleep at night because they was ignoring. They had so many red flags. They made a whole blanket. They slump at night.
Hello.
But
Completely.
I just want to say thank y'all so much for being a part of this conversation. Like,
Thank
I feel
you.
like my soul is so full. I like really appreciate everything that all of you said. Folks, I'm gonna be having everybody's social media, so please follow everybody, give them some love because these are amazing people. And you know what? I think you all deserve the love, my lovelies. So thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. And I hope y'all have a good rest of your night. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was lovely talking with all of you.